So how much money do you need to spend to start with an initial investment to raise meat birds? It's not as much as you think. Let me go through this and kind of show you guys what we did. So the meat birds that we have here, we have 14 of them right now. These are Cornish cross hens. We ordered them from our local feed store. So we didn't go to Tractor Supply or Rural King or one of these big box stores. We ordered these from a local small business, and we had to pre-order them and tell them how many we wanted. And once they were hatched and they had them at the store, we were able to go pick them up. So each one of these birds was sub $3 each. If you go to Tractor Supply right now, it could be $5, $6, maybe $7, depending on where you live. But if you can find a local feed store that does it, that makes it so much cheaper. So let's just say we rounded up and we had 15. 15 times 3 is $45, so 50 bucks. We don't have a lot of money in the birds themselves, so that's about $50. What you need to get started is we have these elaborate feeders and waterers that we bought. You don't need to do that to get started. Here is all you need to get going. Oop, just about tripped and fell. This is a standard small chick feeder. You can get these at Tractor Supply. They're probably 10 bucks, I'm guessing. So between the birds and the feeder here, we have about, we're at the $60 now to get started. This is just to get started. You can also buy these small little watering cans. These work great when you're first getting started, but you'll definitely have to get a little bit more creative as you go. But one of these is probably 20 bucks, so we're $30. So that and the chickens themselves, now we're talking, if you want to do 15 of them, now we're talking probably, my math is not good, 90 bucks. So we're still sub $100 to get going. Then what you need is, of course, a place to put them. That's pretty important. You can't really have them running around your house. So I built this little brooder right here. It's very simple, not complicated whatsoever. But to get started, if you're just going to bring some home from the store and you want to just get going, figure the rest out later, all you need to start, sorry about my garage, it's a mess, is a tote. You can get a plastic tote and put these chickens in it. Something that's also very important when they're little, they have to have a heat lamp. They have to be kept under heat. These chickens are about 2.5 weeks old. They're getting bigger by the day. They still need a heat lamp. So depending on how much that costs, that's probably 30 bucks. So we're at about $120 to get started, to get going. And that's if you're going to use a plastic tote that you have at the house. So it's really not as bad as what you think. Now let's talk about bedding. So you can buy a bag of pine shaving bedding from Tractor Supply for probably $6, $7. We buy these from our local feed store. This is called McFeeders. I will say it is the absolute best bedding you will ever buy. The pine smell is so rich with it that when it overcomes the poop smell. It smells so good. So when we buy that, it's probably like $15 a bag. It costs a little bit more. But if you're just going to get pine shavings from Tractor Supply, you just can start with one bag and go from there. So now we're at $135 to get going. Then you have to buy feed. So you can't just feed meat birds your regular chicken feed if you're running regular chickens. So what we buy is the Kalmbach feed. Our local feed store sells it. This is a meat bird start to finish. So we can feed this to the chicks when they're little and then feed them all the way through. So we bought a couple bags of that. That stuff ranges from $20 to $25 a bag. So now still with our full total initial investment to have 15 meat birds to get going, we're sub $150. So it doesn't cost a lot of money. As they get bigger, the money that you're going to have to spend varies a little bit. So we bought these waters and feeders. So if you have one of the little water cans and you leave it down in the pine shavings, these chickens will get them nasty. They'll poop in them. They will get pine shavings in them in their bedding, and they'll make an absolute mess, and you'll be cleaning it out all the time. Trust me, it is gross. So we wanted something that would stand up. I have taken these little waters right here and hung them across the coop to keep them out of the floor. But as these chickens get bigger and bigger, they're going to be draining those out a lot. So we wanted to get something to where we could literally leave these here at the house for 3 or 4 days and not have to worry about it whatsoever. And the feeder is exactly the same concept here. Kind of get down and show you here. So the feeder, it stands up on legs, and the chickens can reach their little beaks in there and get food. Those were pricey. Those were pricey. So those were about $70 each. So we have 140 just in the feeder in the water itself. But that can come later. And then as they get bigger, you're going to have to figure out a way to keep them in a bigger enclosure before you move them outside. So in my last video, I talked about my little contraption I built here. 2x4s are cheap right now. They're like $5 a board, $6 a board. There's probably 3 or 4 boards here. So I cut the 2x4s down, and I just made a rectangle shaped box. So that's about a 4 foot by 6 foot box that I made and just screwed it all together. Then I just took chicken wire and just wrapped the outside. So even if I was just going to build this little box right now, I would probably have 30, 40 bucks in it. It really doesn't cost a lot of money. I would tell you, when you buy chicken wire, just buy a big roll. Don't buy the little roll. Buy a bigger roll and keep it. I've been working out of the same roll of chicken wire. I put the wire on our big outside coop for our laying hens, and here I still have a ton of wire left. So you're better off just to buy the wire up front. Just pay once, cry once. You don't want to buy a little roll, then have to go back and get another roll. Just get a big roll and then keep it. So I'll keep you guys up to date on their progress. We're going to be moving these outside. They are getting bigger by the day. These things get big extremely quick. So they will be ready to butcher from start to finish once you get them in 8 weeks. This is our first go around doing meat birds. I have butchered chickens before, but I've never actually done Cornish cross hens. So this is our first go round at it, and we're gonna see kind of how it goes. And we're gonna probably fail some, we're going to learn some, but you can join us on this journey. If you would like this video and subscribe, we're trying to get this page going. We need some people to subscribe to our content. I promise you, it will get more interesting as we go. See you next time.